What is it like preparing for, living through, and the aftermath of a Category 5 hurricane? Hurricane Melissa that hit Jamaica. Thank you to everyone that has reached out to us, sending messages, calling us, texting, emailing us. Blessed love to you all for the donations. It just reminds me that there is still humanity left in this world. I decided to share with you my experiences of living through this Category 5 storm, experiences on the ground from others, especially in the West. Westmoreland, St. James, Hanover, St. Elizabeth, Trelawney, and St. Anne were severely damaged. It is catastrophic there. I want to give some national updates, government updates. For me, this really shows our resilience, leadership through crisis and uncertainty. It just shows us that you don't need to be in leadership or in a government role to actually make an impact and to do something. I want to tell you something very surprising and exciting that happened to me last week, being interviewed not once but twice on US national TV by News Nation. So I want to walk you through how that experience was. I also want to give some updates how you can contribute, to safe places to contribute, and just what I've been doing. We live in Kingston. Even though it was projected to hit the west, it doesn't mean that one still shouldn't prepare. Storms and hurricanes, they can switch easily. We knew that power will go and water will go. I was preparing dinners that didn't require being reheated, downloading all of my Netflix shows, making sure that all devices were charged. I had got several liters of bottles of water already prepared just in case. Checking the areas around our apartment and our complex as well where it potentially can be flooded. When you come out of our main gates just here, and if you can see this road, that turns into a gully through just normal storms and rain. And this is a Category 5. The hurricane hit the Tuesday. The Wednesday prior, myself and Mala hadn't left the house. We did on Friday morning, and that was just to get our shopping and to go downtown to the market. In the supermarket, everybody's panic buying, and we weren't. We shop every 2 weeks, so we were shopping for things that we need every 2 weeks. The food that we use can be eaten cold or can be eaten warm. Other things that we were doing just to make sure that we were grounded and prepared. I was watching the news. I was more focused on government updates. I didn't want to get involved in looking at accounts on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook. When I looked at those accounts, international news outlets, the narrative was more about being fearful. If you're living in Jamaica, you should leave Jamaica right now. And I just wasn't happy with that. I believed that there needed to be a balanced narrative. And that's what I got when I heard Prime Minister Andrew Holness speak, when I heard Opdem speak, how to prepare yourself, what you need to be doing before, during, and afterwards. These are the shelters that you can go to. This is what's been put in place. For me, that felt more grounded, intentional. It was the balance of, this is a serious hurricane and these are the things that we need to be doing. A week before the hurricane hit, we had a lot of rain in Kingston. And I don't think people realized that the amount of rain that we had wasn't normal. People were calling Halfway Tree Halfway Pond. We had flooding in Ligony, Barbican, New Kingston. That should have given people an indication that this is something that could turn much worse than we expect. There were mandatory evacuations in some parts of Kingston, but for us, there wasn't. Monday night, it was raining, quite heavy. It was getting quite windy. We knew that Tuesday, round about lunchtime, it would be landfall. The internet was getting slower. The power kept tripping out. By Tuesday afternoon, power was cut. We did not lose water though. I had moved things around in the house for flooding just in case. On the Monday afternoon, we had workers come around with sandbags to put in the apartment. You could buy if you wanted as well. By Tuesday night, to me, it felt like the hurricane was here. And I kept looking outside just to check the cars were still in the right place. Throughout the night, you would end up seeing some branches on the ground. Wednesday morning, I'd woke up about 6 o'clock. I shouldn't have done this. I went for a drive just 5 minutes around where we live. We live off Constant Spring Road. We're a couple of minutes walk from the tax office. So I drove up to just at the bottom of Stony Hill, like Manor Park, Waterworks, Shortwood, just to see what the devastation may have been. All I saw was some roads were a little bit uneven, branches on the ground, but that was it. I drove into a few of the supermarket plazas, Manor Park, Super Value Town Centre, and it just really was branches. And work was already underway to move all of the branches from the road. I was very surprised about that because it didn't feel like that the night before, and I was extremely relieved. So that's the story of what I lived through, preparing for and going through a Category 5.